Coming to you live from the rinks in Patchogue, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. To my right, cameraman Johnny Malizia. I on the mic am Ryan Brannigan. Second of three on the South Rink tonight. Pat Med taking on Ward Melville in a critical game for the Ward Melville Patriots, and Pat Med looking to get win number one on the season. And this could be the night to do it. Ward Melville currently 9th place in the varsity standings. Pat Med occupying last place, which is 11th. As I mentioned, looking for win number one. 0-14 are the Raiders. They were against Ward Melville, sitting one position out of the playoffs. 3 points out of that last playoff spot, currently held by Middle Country. So 2 points tonight will put them within one of the Cougars. Try to sneak in through the back door into the playoffs, or Ward Melville. Speaking of the Patriots, taking a look at their recent play this season, they're coming off a 6-3 loss to St. Anthony. They played the Friars tough, only losing that one by 3. That back on December the 17th. This is their first game of the new year, 2026. And getting into crunch time in the varsity division with just only a handful of games left in the regular season before it's playoff time. And with a couple of tough matchups in the horizon, or on the horizon, for Ward Melville against Northport Huntington, East Islip, KPC, and Sachem. All of those teams occupying top 6 spots in the standings. This game event against Pat Med is crucial for the Patriots to try to climb their way back into a playoff spot, and for Pat Med try to get their first win of the year. I mentioned this is a good opportunity to do it. They played Ward Melville earlier this year, lost 5-2 back on October the 15th. Pat Med coming off an 11-1 loss against East Islip on December the 19th. This is also their first game of 2026. They played West Islip close as well, just a 4-2 loss back on November the 3rd. Other than that, not too many close games that Pat Med's been a part of, but not part of that is their goaltender, Gabriel Aguirres, who has done his best. Appeared in the skills competition of the All-Star game. Aguirres usually forced to make well over 40 stops a night. Tries to keep the Raiders in it as long as possible. Offensively for Pat Med, they are led by Jake Ranieri. Ranieri 7 points in 10 games played, represented in the All-Star game, as well as Gabe Vignato. Vignato, part of the winning All-Star team. In the 3-on-3 All-Star tournament. A little over a week ago. It looks like we're set here for puck drop between Pat Med and Ward Melville. Some Ward Melville forwards to watch out for. Tyler Curley leading the way in terms of points with 20 on the year. TJ Kazarick, Michael McFadden, 13 points, 11 respectively. And Luke Rayleigh, 10 points in 12 games played. Early start here for the Patriots. Quick shot toward the crease area and a save made by Aguirres. The starting goaltender has not yet been named by Ward Melville in the system. It's the offensive zone draw 1. Here's Fisher. Fisher long shot goes wide. Off the ricochet. Kazarek try to feed the front of the net. Out there with McFadden. Kazarek to McFadden. Back to Kazarek. Kazarek far circle. McFadden out in front. Swept away to the line and not out. Good keep from Fisher. Curley drops for Fisher. Fisher in his feet. Back down low. Kazarek lines up the shot blocker save made by Aguirres. Fisher holds in near point. Back to TJ Kazarek. Shot, or pass rather, blocked. Allows the Raiders to clear. Buscarino, hounded by Schleider. Plays it down the near boards. And around. Held in at the far point. That time by Leiter Montenegro. And Montenegro again keeps in at the far point. We're going to get to Vignato. Vignato attempting to get around Schleider. And now McFadden twirling around the forechecking forward for Pat Med. It's Kazarek back the other way. Good poke from Ranieri from behind. Frees up the puck, and now Jake Ranieri takes control. Ranieri to Rodecker. Rodecker battling Enklin. Enklin shoved down to the ice by Rodecker, who feeds it out in front. Kicks back to the point. Wrist shot, save made, and covering. In net, Andrew Stempel getting the start tonight. Stempel has appeared in 13 games this year. A .503 goals against average, 3-8 record. All 3 wins for Ward Melville coming. And he has been between the pipes. Face off to the right of Stempel. Controlled by Pat Med. They try to get the puck toward the front of the net. Montenegro unable to do so. Neutral zone, back in, Ranieri. Jake Ranieri, their all-star. Not sure if I mentioned that for Pat Med. Incoming is Burke. Burke surviving stick checks. Has it near side. Burke back with it. Shot missed the net wide on the short side. Held in far point. Toward the slot, trying to charge his way through. Not successfully so was Patrick Burke. Puck in the near corner. Eventually sprung free. And carried out of the zone by Montenegro. Trying to flip it ahead to Ranieri. Good defense provided by Lucas Sherman. Pat's back with it. Frisch had it go by him. Enklin. Intercepted. Good read down low. Made by Fauci. Puck dumped in by the Patriots. Played by Brunsma. Held in at the far point. Nolan Fabraro and Blake Fabraro up from the JV squad, making the varsity appearances. Nolan Fabraro trying to settle the loose puck. Does near circle. Fabraro swept it around. And unable to control. Out of the zone. Ahead for Farrell. Farrell 2-on-2 over the blue for Ward Melville. Pass blocked by Brunsma. Loose puck picked up by Doherty. Doherty long shot. Glove by Stempel. Keeps play moving. Flung around, held in near point by Brunsma. Brunsma wrist shot through traffic, blocked in the skates of Doherty. And unable to hold in that time, Spencer Brunsma. So a stoppage with 10:41 left in the first period. Listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Be sure to check us out and give us a follow on social media at LI Sports Network. Gabe to Curry. Running the socials tonight, posting highlights from all the games on our stories, as well as much, much more. Adelaide Sports Network. Curley to McFadden. McFadden nearly found the open Ben Schleider. Just hopped over his stick. Bruinsma near side, battling Kaczmarek. Puck spurts free. Sapagay trying to get a touch on it. Curley centers off the side of the net. Tries to follow it up. Vignato gets the stick in and fire down ice to relieve the offensive pressure. Samulik sending it down ice. The top unit for Ward Melville applying the pressure in the offensive zone. It's Tyler Curley, Michael McFadden, and TJ Kaczmarek up front. Inkland Schleider on the backhand. Schleider to Inkland. Catches it on the backhand. Shot deflected by McFadden, just wide. McFadden try to go right back out in front. Vignato is there defensively. Shot glove save made Aguirre, and he'll hold on to it. 9:41 left here, first period. Ward Melville getting opportunities. Aguirre up to the task for Pat Med. Face off to the left of Gabriel Aguirre. Intercepted. Good read that time from Burke, who backhands in. Burke applying pressure to Montenegro. Burke gets the puck away. Up the near board. Sherman try to step in. Frisch look to get a touch, and back with Ferbraro. Blake Ferbraro, good stick from Ranieri. Takes it away. Ferbraro able to get it back. Turnaround shot from Ranieri, and a save made. Alert stop there from Stempel. Held in at the far blue line. Pat Med keeps the offensive zone sequence going. That backhand pass from Rodecker. Broken up in front. Montenegro once again holding in with the help of Doherty. Spinning away Fauci. Fauci carrying it in behind the net. Hounded. And thrown up the far side and out of the zone by Bryce Paragoski. Rodecker zips it up the near boards. Ranieri dumps in, chases it down, battling Schleider. Takes it away from Schleider. Ranieri around the net, far circle. Jake Ranieri gets around a couple. Area pass for Rodecker just a little bit in front of him, and Fisher plays it up the near boards. Catching the pass, Nolan Ferbraro. Ferbraro flung it across. Banks to Frisch. Frisch shot, blockered away by Aguirre. Samulik, nobody home on the far boards. Quick shot back on goal. Save made Aguirre. Farrell on the forecheck. I'm going to get the takeaway from Rodecker. Rodecker catches back up with it and flips to center. Ben Schleider from the stick of Andrew Stempel wearing the C. Netminder for Ward Melville. Handed it on back. It's Samulik trying to bank one ahead, and eventually does, as it's handled by Miller DiGuardo, and now Spencer Bruinsma. Fisher nearly a takeaway. The other Patriot wearing the C on goal to Stempel. Steered it away. Good forecheck here from DiGuardo. DiGuardo out there with number 20, Nathaniel Jacobson. Farrell dumps in for Pat Med. Samulik trying to spear it ahead. Inkland steps up at the blue line. Puck ends up in neutral ice. Pardon me, that was Sherman who got the pass from Inkland. Inkland 6, Sherman 5. McFadden. Cross ice feet to Curley into the offensive zone. Tyler Curley's pass blocked by Bruinsma. Kaczmarek battling near side. Backhanded to center by Jacobson, who intercepts the pass. Jacobson poked away by Curley. And Kaczmarek hands back to Jake Inkland. Fauci on the forecheck. Bruinsma to himself, rather that was Vignato on the forecheck. Vignato rumbling in, applies the check to Sherman. Helped out by Sapagay. Shot from Bruinsma wide. Samulik at the far point. Keeps the cycle going. Bruinsma pinching in from the right post. Sapagay wraps it around. First on it for Pat Med is Buscarino. Buscarino battling Kazarick in the far boards. And eventually the puck comes free to McFadden. McFadden with Curley charging to the net. Try to sauce one toward Curley. It's ushered to the near boards by the stick of Aguirre. Kazarick carries in behind on the backhand. TJ Kazarick. A little flip to Blake Ferbraro at the blue line. Samulik. Nice little turnaround play. Here's Vignato. Skating through center. Gabe Vignato. Far near circle shot. And McFadden picks up the rebound. Another shot in the direction of Stempel. Stabbed it away with the stick. Puck redirects down ice. Past Aguirre and for an icing against Ward Melville. 4:56 left here in the first period. A number of minutes had gone by without a whistle there. Some good continuous action in this varsity matchup. And records coming in: 3-12 Ward Melville, 0-14 Pat Med. Looking for that first win. Scoreless tie over halfway through this first period. Here's Blake Ferbraro to Patrick Burke. Burke speeding through neutral ice. Dekes his way through. Burke off the side of the net. Punch down low on a good play there from Jack Frisch. And Frisch settles things down in neutral ice. Dumps back in for Ward Melville. Right on the stick of Rodecker. Rodecker flipped it in the direction of Ranieri. Off his stick and into the Raider penalty box. The scorer keeper collects the puck, hands to the official. Get the face-off outside the Pat Med zone. 4:09 left in the first period. No score between Ward Melville and Pat Med. Nolan Ferbraro to take the draw against Rodecker. Won by Rodecker. Ranieri fires a shot off the stick of Enklin on goal, and a save made by Stempel. Fauci checked that time. Good play defensively for Michael Laganigro. Fauci for Ranieri. Drag shot. Another deflection off the stick of Enklin, and another good reaction from Stempel. Ranieri across, fanned on by Rodecker. Great look. Ranieri. Dekes at the line. And a takeaway from by Enklin off the stick of Ranieri. Enklin goes cross ice for Laganigro. Into the zone, but offsides are Ward Melville. They touch up as Fauci back skates into the zone. Mishandled. Able to play to Rodecker, who coughed it up to Farrell. Farrell moves in. Farrell, a wrist shot over the net. Settled down, but not out of the zone. That time from Delgado. Now they clear. Schleider across to Enklin. Under 3 minutes to play first period. Banked ahead for Farrell. Farrell gonna march in through. Jacobson went down. No call. Samulik picks it up in behind for the Raiders. Samulik finds his winger Jacobson. And now Ranieri. Return pass to Jacobson. Jacobson drags. Jacobson unable to get it toward the front of the net. Gets knocked down on the play by Blake Ferbraro. His outlet pass touched on by Curley into the zone. Enough touch that there is no icing. Curley over the stick of McFadden. Past Kazarick. And flipped to center by Delgado. Tyler Curley enters the zone 1-on-4. Charge to the net, save made, rebound save. Aguirre at the doorstep. He stopped McFadden twice. As Ward Melville making something out of nothing. Look at this, plenty of Raiders back. Curley cuts to the middle, nudges that puck on, and then one save, two saves on Michael McFadden in tight, keeping Ward Melville off the board. Fisher carries in behind, reverses past Kazarick. Curley. TJ Kazarick tried to return it. Now on the stick of McFadden, fired it over the net. DeGuardo battling. Kazarick takes it off the wall. TJ Kazarick bumped by Jacobson. Shot wide of the net from Fisher. McFadden in behind. Michael McFadden takes it out. Wheeling around the zone, McFadden near circle. Schleider across ice, good stick from DeGuardo. Prevented the pass from getting through to Fisher. And now DeGuardo needing a change, fires it down ice, takes the icing. And all five PatMed Raiders to the bench. Ward Melville will make a change as well with just 44 seconds left in the first period. A first period that flew by. No score yet in the game. Paragoski won it forward. Alertly played away by Nasta. Or pardon me, that's Luke Buck. Burke. Near circle. Try to get it to Anklin. Good takeaway by Sapugay. And Sapugay fires in for PatMed. Sherman with Buscarino forechecking, collides into his own man. Vignato to Sapugay off the heel of the stick. Luke Buck can't keep in. Rumbling forward is Burke. Burke backhand across, and Paragoski had to apply the brakes to try to get on the other end of that pass, and we come to the end of the first period exactly how he came in, tied up at 0 after 15 minutes. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Second period starts in a few minutes here. See you on the other side. Second period set to begin between PatMed and Ward Melville. No score yet in the hockey game. A couple of good saves from either goaltender. Farrell, quick shot to start the second period. Another save made by Aguirre. Both goaltenders have looked sharp through 15. Samulik looking for the home run pass to Ranieri. Throws his head back, looking skyward, knowing he just missed. Ranieri streaking in for a potential breakaway. Play results in an icing. So faceoff comes back down to the left of Aguirre. Won by Ward Melville. Inkland. Sherman to Farrell. Farrell. Seam pass doesn't connect. And Fauci tracks back to it for Pat Med. Wheels around the net. Out of the zone with speed. Jack Fauci. Fauci pivots. Ranieri near circle. Survives a stick check. Floats one over the net. Poked at by Rodecker. Fauci. Up the boards. Samulik slap shot deflects wide. Bruinsma pinching in. Sends it down the far boards. Eventually gets to Rodecker. Rodecker. Ranieri sharp angle try. Hugging the post was Stempel. Bruinsma slap shot right off of Sherman on goal, and a save made by Andrew Stempel. Good offensive sequence there for Pat Med, generating a few shots on goal. Stempel up for the challenge. Face off right off the draw. A shot deflects on goal, and a glove save made by Stempel, and no whistle, so we play on. Stempel just emptying it out of the basket. Kazarick. Now Curley. Curley battling Diaguardo. Kept in, no. Offsides. Pat Med touch up. Luke Buck just a split second behind to try to keep that in. Fisher gains the zone for Ward Melville. Try to play it across. Second attempt works to Kazarick, who flung it wide. For Braro, that's Blake. Down low for Michael McFadden. Pops into the air. Glove down by Curley. Turnaround shot blocked. And rebound cleared into neutral ice by the Raiders. Blake for Braro. Right shot defenseman. Hands off to Michael McFadden. McFadden around the stick of Delgado. Picks up speed into the offensive zone. McFadden try to get around Luke Buck. Good defense provided by Buck. McFadden try to send it all the way across. Broken up and cleared by Pat Med, and picking up speed in the process. It's Montenegro to Delgado wide with the shot. Back out in front, Delgado, and a toe save made by Stempel. What might have been Pat Med's best look of the game. Now a turnover. McFadden stopped by Aguirre on the breakaway. Right back across. Another save by Aguirre. The benches and fans are hammering their sticks, clapping their hands as play is opened up here in the early goings of the second. Pass intercepted by Vignato. Gabe Vignato takes in. Vignato near circle, left the puck behind him. And it's taken over by Frisch. Frisch flips out of the zone. Nasta sends it right back in. On goal, stopped by the stick of Stempel. Thrown around, not out of the zone by Frisch. And Fisher will carry it the rest of the way out of the zone, over the red, over the blue. James Fisher on the backhand. Good pass, but Vignato sniffed it out. Good defensive play by Gabe Vignato. Pat Med starts up the other way. 3-on-3 over the blue line. Centering pass intercepted by Paragoski. Eventually the puck settled and banked to center. Burke all the way across. Inkland to Paragoski. Save made by Aguirre. Great feed to set up Paragoski. The scramble is on, and holding his own. Gabriel Aguirre backed up in his own net, keeps the puck from crossing the goal line. Here's another look at the McFadden breakaway. And the save made by Aguirre. We resume action. Ranieri just past the stick of Fauci. Goes to work on Sherman. No icing. Rodecker. For Jack Fauci. Anklin takes over. And Jake Anklin ahead to Frisch. Stopped up. Paragoski on the takeaway. Try to lead Burke. Samuelic there. Backhand shot wide of the net. Came off the stick of Jack Frisch. A Raider goes down. Rodecker has to toe the line to keep it on sides. Ranieri was the Raider who went down. Fauci on the forecheck. Paragoski. Off the boards to Frisch. Frisch takes the hit. Ahead now, Burke 2-on-2 over the blue. Patrick Burke cuts middle, save. Rebound! And Anklin just missed. Shot it over the net. Aguirre was down. Upstairs available. Ranieri can't quite punch it ahead. He had Fauci. If he could, now Burke drags. Prevented from going forward by Samuelic. Sherman. Shot blocked off the stick, or skate rather, of Rodecker. Off the glove of Fauci. And wide of the net. Anklin, the shot, he collided with Fisher. Back comes Ranieri. Check from behind by Paragoski. He goes down, as does rather Nolan Fabraro. Rodecker banks it in, and a completely unforced icing taken by Rodecker and Pat Med. Ensuing draw controlled by the Raiders. Still no score. So we're approaching the halfway point of the hockey game. Blake Fabraro spins away from the forechecking Diaguardo. Diaguardo pressuring Fisher. Montenegro throws right back in. Here's Blake Fabraro showing off the speed and the edge work. Drop pass. Not on the same page with Michael Laganegro. Bouncing puck goes just wide. Luke Buck to play it for the Raiders. Jacobson hits the red line, dumps in for Pat Med. Puck going from far to near. In the near corner. Not out of the zone. Pushed back in by Jacobson. Buck on the forecheck. Out in front from Delgado. Nobody home. And Laganegro, who previously played for Pat Med in the Pat Med program. Swept it in. Stempel to Schleider. Controlled now by Pat Med. And Luke Buck sends ahead for Sapugay. Sapugay. Shot, save made, rebound, pops up into the air, still loose, and Sapugay couldn't quite drag it home on the shot initiated by Aiden Buscarino. Now the other way, McFadden unable to get around the defender. Great defense provided by Nasta. Shot from Kaczmarek denied by Aguirre. Kaczmarek tracks back to the puck. In the far corner, fanning on the send around was Doherty. Blake Fabraro holds in at the near point. Keeps the cycle going. Tyler Curley has a cross. Schleider keeps in at the far blue. And a great block in trying to get back on the puck. Buscarino. Ward Melville right back in. McFadden, Deeks, Blake Fabraro, wrist shot, save made by Aguirre. Nasta ahead for Vignato, not out of the zone. McFadden in the near corner. Out in front. Kazarek got a touch. Not sure if it got through to Aguirres. And a flip. Bouncing puck on goal to Stemple, no icing. Blake Ferbraro with Gabe Vignato laying a hit on him. TJ Kazarek marches on in around Ranieri. On the stick of Samuelek. Poked it to the line and out of the zone. Helping it the rest of the way that time was Fauci. McFadden wheels on in. McFadden cuts middle. Sharp angle shot denied by the right pad of Aguirres. And over the stick of Sherman onto the stick of Inkland. Sherman looking to get it to Kazarek. Ranieri read it, took it away. Crunched up against the near boards. Jake Ranieri has the puck once more, and a hand pass is signaled. Hand pass there. 5:18 left, second period. Still no score between Pat Med and Ward Melville. Plenty of whistle-free continuous play in this one. Ensuing draw. Won by Pat Med, but Paragoski gets there first. Tries to send around for Frisch. Taking a tumble. Jacobson surviving the check there. Rodecker across Fauci. Fauci enters the zone, left wing side. Flung one out in front, and Rodecker unable to get on the other end of it. Ranieri. Shot went wide. Rodecker in the near corner. Inkland for Ward of Melville takes it away. Has it in behind the net, looking to generate the breakout. Paragoski. And now Frisch banks ahead. Samuelek tracks back to it. Backhands around for Brunsma. Brunsma fanned on it. Patrick Burke. Wrist shot off the post. Ranieri now with it for Pat Med. Left it behind him. Good back check from Frisch. Jack Frisch to Inkland. Inkland cross corner. Paragoski. Burke. Frisch once more. Taken away by Pat Med. Fauci weaving his way in. Fauci left it behind him. Picked up by Samuelek. Samuelek shot glove save made by Stemple. High hockey IQ move there from Samuelek to follow the winger Fauci up ice. Now Burke weaves in. Puck in the near corner. Off the bench, unable to keep in Schleider. Schleider to Sherman. D to D, and they send in to Ward Melville. Off the cross corner dump, out of the zone, Brunsma for Pat Med. Schleider, D to D to Sherman once more. Near side, Sherman tries to enter the zone, and Diaguardo getting in the way. Still, it comes down low, entering pass. Unable to get to its target, Jack Frisch. Michael Laganigro. Now the loose puck. Picked up by Samuelek. Samuelek around the defender. Samuelek backhand shot along the ice is denied. Great play. Rushing up ahead there from Samuelek. Kevin Samuelek trying to slide it underneath Stemple. There to make the save and keeps things scoreless. Ensuing faceoff. Puck down low. Battle near side. Out in front. Taken away by Fisher, who starts his way up ice with speed. James Fisher with Farrell. They're onside. Fisher to the backhand. Farrell went down in front. He's back up. Fisher looking over his options. Around one Raider. Shot through screen. Goes wide. Aguirres might have got a piece with the stick. Luke Buck spinning out of harm's way. Had it stolen from behind. A save made Aguirres. Great play by Farrell on the forecheck. And fire down ice on goal to Stemple, who alertly makes the save. Fisher. Through the stick of Nolan Ferbraro and into the zone. Tyler Curley going to work on Buck. Again, period of the long change. Especially difficult for the defenseman, but Luke Buck steps through a few. Luke Buck makes his way up ice. Into the zone, hits the brakes. Down the wall, out in front, and over the stick of Patchogue. And now a breakaway again for McFadden. McFadden goes down and never got a shot on goal. Big time stop made by Gabriel Aguirres. Just getting the end of it, losing an edge. McFadden looks like he just tried to hit the brakes really quick, take it to the forehand. Would like to see McFadden simplify the move there. He had all day. Just brought it in too tight. Vignato sends in for the Raiders. Joined by Buscarino on the forecheck. Samuelic works down the near boards. Buscarino to Samuelic, one-time shot save, rebound, still moves out in front. The scramble is on, it's cleared out from in front. Stemple, big-time stops for Ward Melville. No icing here. Bruinsma steps around McFadden. Spencer Bruinsma reverses. Buscarino. Vignato tips in. Joined by Patchogue, forced the turnover to Samuelic. Samuelic through the legs of Patchogue and wide. Buscarino stabbed at by Sherman, who creates the turnover. Curley with Kazarek. Curley, shot, save made of Aguirres, and he jumps on the rebound. Well, one more time, let's take a look at these saves from Stemple. Great setup, one-time shot, big-time stop for Stemple. Rebound, loose out in front. Believe he got it with the right pad. So 33 seconds left in the second period. Still looking for the first goal of the game. Ranieri for Fauci, out of the zone. Jack Fauci now back with Ranieri. Ranieri to Rodecker. Rodecker opens up. Swept it on goal, denied by Stemple. Ranieri in behind. Ranieri out in front. Couldn't find a Pat Med stick. Out of the zone. 12 seconds to go in the period. Jake Ranieri works his way in. Backhands towards Stemple. Steered it away. Rodecker to the point. Bruinsma shot. Deflects. Kick save made at the buzzer. And so we go to the second intermission, still scoreless. Third period coming up. Pat Med, Ward Melville. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League right here and only on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog, listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. No score between Pat Med and Ward Melville. Pat Med looking for win number one. Ward Melville looking to come within a point of a playoff spot. That's what's on the line as we head into this third period. Opening draw win and control for Pat Med. Luke Buck off the stick of Rodecker. No, says the linesman. Icing against the PatMed Raiders, and both goaltenders have been stellar tonight. Gabriel Aguirre in between the pipes for PatMed, and Andrew Stempel, forward Melville. Both have had excellent regular seasons as well, despite maybe the stats not reflecting it due to various reasons, defense in front of them being one of them. But no quit for either of these teams, either of these goaltenders, and it's coming down to the wire, the final 15 minutes. Jake Ranieri, near circle, wrist shot glove save made by Stempel, put back out in front, and McFadden's right there to take it away. McFadden tried to bank it out of the zone, nearly intercepted by Rodecker, still found its way through to Curley. Tyler Curley on the backhand. Curley across, and a bunch of Raiders there. Steer the puck away from the front of the net. Ranieri dragging in, check from behind by Kazarek. Great play made by DJ Kazarek. He'll wheel into the offensive zone forward Melville. Kazarek far circle, shot denied by Aguirre. McFadden on the forecheck breaks up the clearing attempt from Samuelic. Rodecker battling Fisher, thrown out in front. And a good play made that time by Brunsma. Raiders flip out. Ranieri likely would have been the first one on it, but all the way down past the goal line for icing. Ensuing draw. Popped into the air and settled down by Jacobson. Jacobson with Diaguardo. 2-on-2 over the blue. Nice move by Jacobson. Catches back over there. Jacobson, a shot and a save made on the side of the net by Stempel. Great rush up the ice there from Nathaniel Jacobson. Cross ice feed. Finds its way to Burke. Burke diving. Brunsma, save made. Aguirre, and he'll pounce on the rebound. Patrick Burke putting on the afterburners, got around Brunsma, but ultimately ran out of angle. Came in too tight on Aguirre, who made the save. Anklin off the face-off win toward the net, steered aside by Aguirre. Patrick Burke initiating the cycle, battling Brunsma. Paragoski. Far circle, spinning. Shot deflected up into the air. Burke, turnaround shot, diving block. Great play. Believe that was Brunsma. Laying out to stop that puck and stop that opportunity for Ward Melville. It's sent down ice by Diaguardo. PatMed will get the change. All 5 skaters off the ice. Offensive zone draw coming for the Ward Melville Patriots. Face off to the right of Gabriel Aguirre. One in the defensive end by Sapugay and PatMed. Round to the far side. Sapugay backhands out of the zone right to Blake Fabraro. D to D to Fisher. Fired up the far board, settled down. Cross now to Vignato. Okay, Vignato, wrist shot high, and a blocker save made by Stempel, who covers. And it's not too often you get a scoreless varsity game into the third period, but a welcomed sight. Puck battle in the near corner, and the ramifications of this win is huge for both of these teams. Fisher drops it to Blake Fabraro. Overskated, returned it to Fisher. Right back to Blake. Blake plunged it ahead on the backhand of Farrell. Farrell going to work on Nasta. Farrell around Nasta, around the net. Farrell wraparound try. Gabriel Aguirres there to make the stop. Another offensive zone draw here for Ward Melville. The Curley, McFadden, Kazarick unit out. Schleider, Inkland, the defensive pair against Rodecker, Ranieri, and Fauci up front for Pat Med. A shot off the one-timer from Inkland, did not get all of it. On goal, glove save made Aguirres. So we'll flip sides, face off now to the right of Gabriel Aguirres. McFadden will take the draw, won it forward. Bank to center. And no icing is the puck. Didn't quite make it there. Shot, save made, kicking out the left pad was Stempel. And a couple of hits behind the play. McFadden rolling down the left wing side. Rodecker lost his stick. McFadden has his stick. Down low, Kazarick. Back to McFadden. Michael McFadden out in front, TJ Kazarick. To the point. Schleider, shot block, diving block. Great effort from Jack Fauci. Near side, takeaway. Kazarick save made Aguirres. Buck trying to spring forward. Ranieri, nearly a fantastic reception of the pass, but couldn't quite finish the pirouette with possession of the puck, as he also is trying to split the D. Patience here from Fauci. Hits Jake Ranieri. The leading scorer for the Pat Med Raiders, checked by McFadden, and offsides called against the Pat Med Raiders. With 10:05 remaining in regulation time. Again, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, cameraman Johnny Malizia. Here with you, second of three. Sachem and St. Anthony's coming up after the conclusion of this one. Varsity matchup. DiGuardo working on Blake for Braro. DiGuardo goes down, not before he gets into Jacobson's high riser over the net. Might have hit the glove of Stempel. Samulik. D to Brunsma. Brunsma hits DiGuardo at center ice. Puck rolls off his stick, and Ward Melville repossess. Sherman. Across and now into the zone come the Patriots. Try to feed the middle. It's broken up. Good read by Sapagay. Not quite out of harm's way are Pat Med. Paragoski down the near wall to Burke. Burke near corner. Lost possession. DiGuardo clears. DiGuardo to Delgado. Delgado in the feet and behind Jacobson. Otherwise, he would have had a good look. And now Blake Ferbraro rumbles ahead, drops the pass. Wrist shot blocked off the stick of Samulik. Carrying behind is Frisch. Frisch lost the handle and is poked to the neutral zone. Sherman to Ferbraro. Ferbraro back to Sherman. DiGuardo tries a stick check. Sherman skates around it. Sherman checked by Jacobson. Shot blockered away by Aguirres. Out in front, and Sapagay regains control for the Raiders. Around for Jacobson. Jacobson fires out of the zone right before Sherman was able to try to keep in. Pass missed. Samulik gives Nolan Ferbraro time to generate the forecheck for the Patriots. As we are a little over 8 minutes to go, third period, still looking for the first goal of the game. Gabe Vignato. Shot from the far circle found its way into the glove of Andrew Stempel, who stops play with 7:56 left in the third period. 0-14 Pat Med looking for win number one. 3-12 Ward Melville looking to get to within 1 point of a playoff spot with a win in any fashion. Farrell lost a handle. Doherty gets back to it. Doherty on the tape of Ignato, picks up the puck. Gave Ignato down the right wing side, threw it across and unable to connect with Sapugay. Good hustle that time from Buscarino. Now the puck slowed up by the snow buildup in front of the Raider bench. Fisher tried to bank one along. It's back to Nasta, who backhands into neutral ice. Vignato unable to get by Farrell. Ferraro, Nolan mishandle. Now Buscarino 1-on-2 into the O-zone. Buscarino. Puck left behind for Vignato. Save, rebound. It's behind and not in. Back to the point. Doherty, wrist shot. Never got through. And now the whistle stops play amidst the chaos. My goodness. Pat-Med with some of the best looks of the game. We're under 7 to play. Third period, no score between Ward Melville and Pat-Med. Curley around Buck. Try to play it, it went off the back of the skate of Buck. And it's been a relatively clean game as well, as we haven't even had a penalty for either side to this point in the matchup. Ranieri, far circle, dangles, Ranieri scores! Jake Ranieri breaks the ice finally, and Pat-Med take the 1-0 lead. Oh, we waited long enough for a goal in this one, and Jake Ranieri with this move around the defender just created enough space and just able to find daylight through Stempel on the far side. And the Raiders, looking for win number 1, have taken the lead with 6:33 to go in the third. Looking for more. Rodecker. Shot, save made, rebound, loose in front, went just wide off the stick of Fauci. Fauci knocked down by Inklin. Off the stick of Ranieri on the clearing attempt, and taken off is Curley. Curley is in. Curley scores! No goals this whole time. We get 1, we get 2. We're tied at 1. Tyler Curley slid it through Aguirre. Split the defense, and the changeup right through the wickets. The 5-0 of Gabe Aguirre nods the game up at 1. So Pat-Med, or rather any team in the game, had a lead, and the lead lasted all of 18 seconds. That's it. And a timeout has been called on the ice. And I'll catch my breath. Ranieri from Leiter Montenegro at 6:35. And then Tyler Curley from the feed from Michael McFadden. Tied it right back up at 1 apiece. Curley's 13th of the season. McFadden's 12th point and 6th assist. Ranieri's 7th goal of the year. And Leiter Montenegro, who picks up the assist. That is his first point of the season. What a time to have it. And so we come down to the wire. Crucial 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Critical. 2 points at stake. Evenly matched game throughout. Both goaltenders standing on their heads. Both defenses doing the best they can to help out their goaltenders. In a 1-1 tie. Fisher. Broken up by Samuel. Curley on the follow-up. Curley charging to the net, and a good stick from Spencer Bruinsma broke it up. Vignato in the near corner. Battling with Sapugay, his teammate, and Bruinsma, and it's Vignato came out of it right off the helmet of Sapugay up into the air. Settled by Ward Melville. Banked ahead by Fisher to TJ Kazarek. Near circle, Kazarek. Good move to get around Bruinsma. Speeds around Sapugay. Up top, Blake Ferbraro. Wrist shot, traffic. Goes through. They score! And Ward Melville, for the first time tonight, have taken the lead. It's 2-1. And that's Blake Ferbraro's first varsity goal in his first varsity game. 2-1 Patriots. Who have scored 2 goals in 47 seconds after not scoring for the vast majority of the game. Here's Fauci. Fauci in front, trying to backhand one wide. Good stick lift from Schleider. The poke, though, from Ranieri keeps play alive, and a cross in the feet of Leider Montenegro. Crunched into the boards, gets it to Ranieri. Ranieri had his pocket picked by Paragoski. Back to Fauci, wrist shot wide. Luke Buck near point as Pat Med looked to get it back. Trailing for the first time tonight. Around, it's Inkland. Oh. Jake Ranieri. Splitting the defense. Sent away by the stick of Stempel. Around, here's Luke Buck. Near circle, unable to really possess it. Back on Ward Melville. It's Frisch. Deeks at the line. Frisch to Burke. Mishandled. McFadden trying to track back to it. Can and keeps it in. Running out of time was Jack Fauci. And Frisch. Backhands for Curley. Curley to Michael McFadden. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in regulation time. Ward Melville with 2 goals in the third period. 47 seconds apart, have taken the lead. Kazarek hits the brakes, looks over his options. Back to the point, Blake Ferbraro. Fanning on the shot. McFadden and TJ Kazarek the assists on the go-ahead Ferbraro goal. Sherman, wrist shot, block, sliding block from Fauci. Rebound, knocked down in front, and a diving effort from Spencer Bruinsma. McFadden, great possession though here for Ward Melville. Exactly where you want to have the puck to keep the lead, but that's a bad giveaway. Ranieri takes off, but not on the same page with Samuelek, who does get it over to Ranieri. Ranieri juggles the puck, goes down behind the net, delayed penalty, and Pat Med will go to the power play. The first penalty of the game comes at a critical juncture. Puts the Pat Med Raiders down a goal on the power play. And timeout is called, I believe now, by Ward Melville. What a game we have been treated to here on the South Rink. The middle game of 3. And right now the difference, this goal right here from Blake Ferbraro, his first career varsity goal. The dynamic JV defenseman throws that one. It squeaks by Aguirres, who had been so good tonight. Just prior to it, the equalizing goal. What a feed from McFadden. Hits Curley, splits the D. One little mistake. Curley made him pay between the legs of Aguirres. But a power play here. First of the game for Pat Med. Keep an eye on Aguirres. Time winding now. Shot save. Rebound. Flips into the air. Still loose out in front. And it's not in the net. Kept out. Andrew Stemple comes up big again for the Patriots. And look at the madness going down out in the crease area. Looks like Stemple's blocker came off. It didn't matter. He wasn't letting that puck by him. Power play resumes. Vignato. That hopped the stick of Fauci. Rodecker battling Blake Febraro, who gathers and clears for the Patriots. Aguirres to Ranieri. 2:30 left here in the third. Minute and 30 left on the power play for Pat Med. Jake Ranieri's got the lone goal. Wrist shot from the slot goes wide. Vignato fanned on it, and it's sent to center ice by Captain James Fisher. Fauci spinning, trying to get around McFadden. Curley there, and Curley will clear. 2 minutes left in the third period. Pat Med trailing by one. 1 minute to go on the power play for the Raiders. Fauci enters the zone, drops it for Buck, gets it back. Fauci, slot, Vignato save, rebound, stuff in, try, it wouldn't go. And sticking up for their goaltender, Ward Melville, as Vignato came charging in. Didn't get all of this shot. Rebound was available. Also got pushed in by Blake Febraro, so that's worth noting. And looks like it was actually Fauci coming on in. .48 seconds left on the power play for Pat Med. Minute and 42 seconds left in the period, and Ranieri is sent out of the face-off dot. Jack Fauci steps in to take it. He'll take it from Kazarek. And Fauci wins it to the far boards. Ranieri's seen past a Buck off a skate. Vignato alertly jumps in to take possession. Fauci, minute 30 to go. Ranieri, top of the key, shot it wide off the ricochet. Fauci, and it's fought off by the blocker of Stemple. Ranieri rips it wide. Friendly bounce right on the tape of Jack Fauci. And getting the blocker and deflecting it out of play, Andrew Stemple, who's been phenomenal here tonight. 30 seconds left in the Pat Med power play. Empty net as well for the Raiders. Vignato to Fauci. Minute 15 to go. Up top, Vignato. Back to Fauci. Now Ranieri. Fauci, one-time shot, whistled off of Stemple into the near boards and backhanded down ice. No icing because the shorthanded. Ranieri seemingly forgot that. 1 second and time up on the power play. It's now 6-on-5. Raiders need a goal. Jake Ranieri steps by one. Ranieri around another. Backhands it out in front through a couple of skates. Shot from Vignato. Knocked down in front. Still loose and available. Inkland goes down. Backhanders out of the zone. No. And now it deflects to neutral ice. Luke Buck there playing center field. And Ranieri. Ranieri gave it away to McFadden. McFadden to the empty net. He's true. Michael McFadden ices the game for Ward Melville. They go up 3-1 and they celebrate on the bench. Read the play and effectively ends the game. 3 unanswered for Ward Melville. And a defeated Pat-Med Raider bench as they came oh so close to winning game number 1. Have to feel for the Raiders in what's been a struggle of a season. They have fought from starting whistle to the bitter end. Had some good looks as well with the net empty and power play, but ultimately couldn't get one by Andrew Steppel. And Ward Melville with a huge win, a gutsy win. Scoreless deep into the third, go down by 1, claw back, and 3 unanswered. Win at 3-1, improve to 4-12, and more importantly, sit just 1 point behind Middle Country for the final playoff spot in the varsity standings. Coming up on the schedule, they're gonna have to get a win against the big boy to get into playoff position. Northport Huntington, East Islip, KPC, and Sachem, the remaining teams on the schedule for Ward Melville. None of those are easy games, all of which they lost earlier in the year. As for Pat-Med, their search for win number 1 continues into 2026. They have their next matchup in 2 days from now against Sachem, followed up by KPC. Another winnable game against West Islip. Another one, and 3 winnable games to finish the year. West Islip, Middle Country, and Connecticut Save, although you never know. They could shock Sachem as well in 2 days from now. They played their hearts out tonight, as did Ward Melville, who get the win 3-1 over the Pat-Med Raiders, and that will do it for our coverage here in this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. On behalf of our cameraman, Johnny Malizia, social media operations handled by Gabe DeCurry, I'm Ryan Brannigan. Till next time, as always, folks, have a good night.